Your love's like a melody playing for us in the sweetest key you can find. The music of love. And when we touch, there's a warmest glow, heating the passion that All right, sorry.
Is that Tamia?
Yeah.
All right, for this blast for them from the past.
I was listening to it in the shower.
Tamia is pretty flawless.
Damn flawless. Like, there's nothing wrong with her.
Her voice is pretty flawless too. I love her tone. It's very clear, and she's really one of the more consistent vocalists of our time.
And she doesn't do too much.
Wildly underrated.
Wildly underrated.
Wildly underrated. Is it widely or wildly? Both, actually. Both. I think are appropriate. But
wow.
Let's not make this about coconuts. Let's not.
Wow, thoughts.
Oh my gosh. Praise the Lord, niggas. Welcome me, welcome you. Welcome back to episode 37 of Getting Grown with Jade and Kia, where we discuss all things adulting. The triumphs, the trials, the tests, the turns, the twists, the taboos, all things associated with being an adult in the year of our Lord, 2017.
Also the tantalizing.
Good afternoon. Huh?
The tantalizing.
The tantalizing what?
Of the tantalizing things that come along with being an adult. Yes, it is bills and it is hardships, but being an adult also means that you can eat cookies for dinner if you so feel like it.
Because you're a grown woman.
You can do whatever you want.
Ever you want. In the words of Beyonce.
Yes. Giselle.
Beyonce Giselle Knowles Carter.
Carter.
The mother of Blue, Sir, and Rumi.
All three of them.
We speak your name, sis. What's up, girl? What's going on? How's life? What's cracking?
Busy. Fast. It's busy, it's fast, and it's coming at me quickly. And I had to dodge it today. And lay down and take a nap. I literally didn't know what to do. Like, I stood there for a second and I got really overwhelmed. And I sat on the couch and I said, I'm just going to go to sleep for 20 minutes. And I had contractors in my office and I turned to them and I said, I'm going to go to sleep for 20 minutes. If you need me, you can, shake me a little bit, but I'm really going to try to go to sleep for 20 minutes. So they left me alone.
Took a nap at work.
20 minutes. I did. I took a power nap.
Power naps have never worked for me. They're just a waste of time. They don't do anything but make me angry. I do not feel rejuvenated after 20 minutes of rest.
I was pretty irritated, but it's fine.
I don't know. Maybe my circadian rhythms.
How are you?
I'm okay. I'm hanging in. I just was saying, I don't think my circadian rhythms are 20 minutes long, or I don't know if that's what that means, but 20 minutes worth of sleep is just about as useless as useless gets.
No, I'm definitely one of those. I'm definitely a snoozer. Like, every minute that I can get, I'm trying to soak it up.
I mean, in theory, it sounds absolutely amazing. And I mean, maybe I've just not done it correctly, or maybe I've been too tired, or however, the times that I've tried to sleep for 20 minutes, I don't wake up feeling like, woo, that was great. I feel like, man, I was just getting started. No. I was literally just getting...
It's like being fed an appetizer and nothing else.
Right. It's just like you gave me this small bite and it's not enough to satiate me.
No, my 20 minutes are more so for survival, because if I don't know what to do in that moment, I need to just go to sleep for a second. And if I don't, I don't know what's going to happen, but I feel like it's not going to be good. I watch a lot of Snapped, so I'm not sure.
I can't watch Snapped anymore. I can't watch a lot of the things that I used to watch. I don't know. I feel my nerves, since I started watching the ID Discovery Channel, My nerves
Mm.
are just so bad. They are fried. They look like Naomi Campbell's edges.
So they're non-existent.
They're fraying. They're literally just
I don't know,
drifting on
sis.
memories. That's what they are.
They are almost extinct.
They are on the endangered species list, right
As
next to
fuck.
pandas. And
Naomi Edge's
just
pandas.
add them to the list.
Elephants.
And Kia's nerves. Yes, right there.
Kia's nerves.
Right there.
And Vivica's edges as well.
Vivica might have edges up underneath all them synthetic wigs.
Sis, I've seen it. She don't got no edges.
I don't know.
Nah, fam. That was more than forehead.
Vivica, we miss you, sis. Anyway, yeah. So what's happening in the world? What's the tea, as the young people say?
I think the biggest thing right now that I've seen, I didn't get to spend a lot of time on the internet, but Keaton Jones, the young man who was bullied, and how people, spoke up for him and so forth and so on, which was admirable. And it's still admirable, it's fine. But come to find out, his mother, who is allegedly a MAGA.
A who?
A MAGA.
I don't know what that means.
Make America great again.
Oh, girl. She's an idiot. Oh, okay. You could have just said that.
Yes, exactly. I thought I did.
Well, I mean, I don't know the acronym, but now I know. I'm in the know now.
So apparently his mother is a MAGA. And,
why don't we call him
set up a...
I don't want you to call him that. That sounds...
No, I don't. I'm not saying it in an endearing way by any means. It's more like a villain.
A maggot. That sounds way more appropriate.
I'm saying it in French. MAGA.
Is that... You made that up.
I did.
Okay, so what about his mama? His mama with those dreadful red
set up a
hair.
GoFundMe or whatever. She set up a GoFundMe or PayPal, whatever the fuck, and niggas donated to it. Like people donated to this boy. It was mad
because he was crying about being bullied. Correct?
Yes. Which bullying is it's awful, and we have many examples of children every single day who are committing suicide because they're being bullied, and it takes such a toll. And bullying is disgusting. I don't understand though what setting up a GoFundMe is going to do. Are you going to pay the bullies?
That was going to be my question. Like, what would be the purpose? And that would be my question for those who donated. What were we raising money for exactly?
We were raising, not we, not we, because
them.
Nothing happening in this direction. $57,000.
But
in
why? What for? What
exactly? That is the question. A wrinkle in time. Yeah, $57,000. And this mad Confederate, pictures and shit online of their family being full blown idiot supporters. So
I've not heard much either. I had a super busy day at work and I was not in the Twitter sphere, roaming about. But from what I was able to do in just a quick series of Googles, or was able to learn in a quick series of Googles, was that the young man was bullied because he was allegedly calling black and brown children at his school nigga.
Oh, I did not hear that part of it.
So, I mean, I still have lots of questions, but
so many questions. I understand that we're a passionate generation. We love to come to the aid and speak about those who need to be defended, self included. But we just got to do a little bit more research before we just run amok just doing things. You can't just be out here just doing things. You can't. Why are you donating money? I don't understand what the donation is going to do. So are these other WASPy families donating to this cause, or is this like a worldwide, people of all races, creeds, colors have donated? Yes, that part.
Okay.
That part. Yeah.
I'm going to have
Everybody.
to look into this more. I'm not prepared. I apologize to those who expected me to have a full-fledged comment. I don't have anything.
No, it's just part of.
I don't have anything. I don't know. I'm reticent to
Words.
I'm reticent to
Words.
share. I don't feel like I know enough information to speak about this. I don't know much about algebra, but I do know that calling people the N-word all willy-nilly will get your shoulders clapped.
Will get your shoulders clapped. Or you're going to have the entire school calling you Inch until you decide to leave.
Is that what they were calling him?
No, that's that white girl I told you about. One of her legs was shorter than the other one.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You see? Bullying.
No, that's not bullying. You call me a nigga.
Oh, my goodness. What are we going to do?
Call me a nigga. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know. I don't know that I've ever been called a nigga to my face.
I have. Yes, I have. That white girl called me a nigga. She called me a nigga. She paid for it, but she did.
I think the Lord is gracious and kind and wise in all of his ways, and that has not been a part of my experience on the earth just yet. I don't know how I would react.
I've been called a nigger bitch on the road.
I just don't know. But listen, y'all stop giving your money away so freely. That's all.
I mean, just think about it before you just start doing
I understand stuff. That, just not at all saying that we should not donate or support causes that are worthy. Mm-mm. But I do feel like there's a responsibility on those who ask or request for money to, at least you have to provide a basis for which people can, stand on. Mm. In their gifts, in their benevolence. Like you don't want, you just cannot say life is hard and I want y'all to help pay my bills for 3 months. Cause that's not.
Yeah. Cause we all are actually.
All my life I had to fight. You know what I'm saying?
My uncles, my brothers, and my daddy.
I had to fight my cousins. I had to fight my uncles.
And them niggas in school. Tangent. So why? Cause this goes to your point about personal responsibility. I am all about one thing my family doesn't do, is we don't give homeless people money. But if somebody says they're hungry, we never deny anybody any food. So we'll do whatever it is that we can to get them some food. But I don't know what your habits are. I don't know what this money's going towards. So I'd rather make sure that I'm helping in a way that I know, is going to make me feel better. So I remember one time I was younger, we were in the car with my mom. And there was this lady, and my mother never believed in giving money either, but she'd always buy something to eat. And there was this black lady outside, homeless lady, or allegedly homeless. And she came up to the window, and my mom was like, you know what? I can't see a black woman like this. Like, I got to give her something. So she gave my sister the money. My sister rolled down the window and went to go hand the lady the money. Lady was thankful, gracious, rolled the window up. We drove off. My sister turns to me and my mom and goes, why were her nails painted?
Well, listen.
They were really, really nice. And we were like, so you're observing her nails as you're handing her this money and you continue to hand her this money?
Oh.
We were like, don't you see what's happening here?
I mean, I don't know.
So to go to your point, make sure you're always looking at the nails. Like you got to just pay attention to the details.
Somebody could have gave that lady some nail polish and she painted her own nails to make herself feel better.
My homegirl Tina down the street, whose name is not Tina, painted them nails.
I just feel like,
fam. That lady had a full-blown manicure.
You ain't see him. Your sister saw him.
She said she had a full-blown manicure. She was like, her nails are just so nice.
You can give yourself a manicure and your nails can look nice.
We're just going to agree to disagree.
Well, that's fine. I just don't know that we should cape. Now, I don't know if we should. I don't know. I
say all that to say, be careful and be observant and do your research before you start handing out your dollars.
Oh, Lord. That's true. That's very true. Are we going to address Drea?
Yeah.
I'm going to let you do it first since you chock full of chuckles.
No, you go ahead.
You got all the giggles. So I'm going to let you get it out.
I can't because it's really no laughing matter. She's a terrible mother.
I think that what bothers me, what troubles me the most is like the exasperation in Drea's tone in the comment. I mean,
Sis. She said it's not that I am irritated with signing this thing. I'm tired of hearing
bruh.
What? Let me explain something to you. Noah had to bring a song home and she's got to sing this song. She goes to dance class. She's got to learn these little routines and so forth and so on, practice her little steps. Why am I getting ready to destroy this child's self-esteem and also like incriminate myself and put it out on the internet that I'm tired of doing something for my child?
It's sad. It really made me sad because, you know, it was just like, I don't want to say ain't no more, but it's like, yeah, I really sat and thought for a long time. I tried to think. I know that I got on my mother's nerves at least 99% of the time.
And she told me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But I really could not imagine my mother refusing to do anything, associated to like, especially that was like associated with like school or my homework or anything like that.
Education.
Like, no.
My livelihood as a growing person.
Like I just
society.
And I recognize that my mother is she's a different breed of mom. You know what I'm saying? Me and Fury was talking about this over the weekend. Like our parents were the parents who gave us supplementary homework in addition to what the teacher assigned. And would, you know, my mother made it her business to develop a working professional relationship with each one of my teachers.
I knew how to read at 3.
I mean, I just feel like, I don't know. It was just so much wrong. It was so much wrong in the comment. The worst part of it was just like at the end when she was just like, is it just me? Or what did she say? Like, I don't know. I was just like, yes, girl, it is just you. It is just absolutely
you.
Just
you. And all the other terrible mothers of America.
Literally a quarter of a second to sign your name to a piece of paper.
And how much of your time is it taking out of your day to listen to your child recite something that he needs for school when most of the time you're taking selfies anyway?
That was my question. I actually I commented on the post. I don't know that she responded. I don't think she did. She might have blocked me. But I just asked, what else do you have to do?
She did.
What else do you have to do? Do you have any other job or responsibility right now other than seeing to it that your son completes his homework and receives full credit for the assignments that he's actually done? So like, the boy did his homework. Like, I mean, the message that we're sending? The boy did his homework, and because you didn't sign it, he didn't get full credit. So what if next time he's like, F that, I'm not finna do nothing? Like,
no, because clearly this child raises himself. Like, we've seen evidence that this child is raising himself. She's a terrible mom, and there are people out there who I'm not.
I don't feel like I can say it because I'm not a mom at all. But
I will.
I do feel like there is something terribly wrong, wrong when, I mean, and as my grandma would say, Drea don't even have sense enough to be ashamed. Like, she doesn't even have enough sense to be ashamed of the stupid things that she says.
She doesn't. No.
Since 2013, Drea has been making horrible decisions on the internet.
On the internet, my nigga.
And she continues to do it. Like, we can count on Drea to do something dumb like this just about every 6 months. We can count on her. She like daylight savings time. Like, we just know that she's coming. You're going to spring forward and fall back and say something stupid. That's what you're going to do, Drea. You're going to, like, come on. I get upset. I can't.
She's awful. I'm sure it stems back to some terrible parenting in her own life. I don't know. But you know what really frightens me? She's like daylight savings.
You are still tickled.
Yeah, because that's funny as hell.
She is like daylight saving time.
Oh my God. Oh my God. What really frightens me is the fact that she does these things on the internet. And like you said, every 6 months she pops up with something stupider than the last time. Cause I didn't even think she could top her biggest stunt of leaving her kid at home.
Left that baby with some Pop-Tarts and some Sweet Tarts.
Some hot pockets and some sprees.
That baby with some Nerds and
some Sunny D.
some ramen noodle.
Oh my God.
Like,
Yo.
oh my God. Oh my God.
Some pizza rolls and some Capri Sun.
Just snacks. The baby was living off of snacks.
Bagel
Just
bites.
living out of the microwave. Poor thing.
Oh, that poor child. That poor child. But what frightens me is the fact that we see these things on the internet every few months. Every day, though, she's with this kid, I assume.
I'm just gonna I'm gonna commit myself to praying for Dre's son on a daily basis.
Keep that kid. Keep him.
I'm gonna wrap him up in prayer.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be my reasonable service.
Please,
because we have to pray. We have to pray for the orphans of the world.
That's all you can do. But anyway, that's all I have is that.
I think that's enough. I'm overwhelmed.
Dre is trash.
Let us move forward. Let us move forward to the shout out to my sis.
My sister's popping right now, like.
Hey there, boys and girls. It's time for shout out to my sis. This week we will be shouting out one of the sponsors of Typing Fast and Taking Care DC, which will be taking place this Friday.
I cannot wait.
In the District of Columbia. Oh, man, it's going to be a move. I'm filled with all kinds of nauseous anxiety, but I feel like
some seltzer water.
I'm just going to put it in God's hands and trust and believe that the best is yet to come. So one of our sponsors will be featured on our shout out to my sis today, in the person of Nikki, from ZenInAJar.com. That's ZenInajar.com. Luxury care for the mind, body, and space. Nikki offers scents, facial care. So scents in terms of candles. She has facial care in terms of body oils, body polish, shea butter, goat's milk soap, hair and body milk mist. Sorry, whoops. I can read. I promise. Hair and body mist. These are items for the body. And she has a scent bar that has several amazing scents, candles that you can burn in your home and just have it smelling super califragilisticexpialidocious. She also is doing a host of events in the district. She specializes in, these kinds of, I think she calls them the scent bar. The Spice Suite. I'll leave the address and all that stuff in the description box below. But you can, it's a monthly event that offers you, creative freedom, libations. Ooh. You can create your own custom body oil using a variety of scents. She has these events. If you go to ZenInAJar.com and click on the events tab, you'll see all the upcoming ones. Please support Nikki. Shout out to her for supporting me in my very first event. And I'm so excited that she will be sharing some of her, fabulous body products, for the attendees. They will be featured in the swag bag. So y'all make sure that you head over to ZenInAJar.com. I'll also leave her IG information and get your orders in. I'm going to tell you what I know. Nikki is selling out of these products because she is the boss with the sauce. I'm telling you, these candles are going to get you chose in the New Year's season. I want you all to get out here and just, do yourself a favor and just smell good, smell amazing.
Nice to walk into your house and it smells delicious.
Absolutely. Your house should smell amazing. Your body should smell amazing. This is a lesson in self-care, honey, because we always feel better when we smell better. That would be a tagline. Somebody pay me. Yeah. So check out ZenInAJar.com. Check out ZenInAJar on IG. Support Nikki. I think she's coming on Friday to the event. So be sure to stop by and say hey to us.
Can't wait.
And yeah, that's shout out to my sis. So y'all check it out.
Kitchen table talk time. Gather around, boys and girls.
Pull up your chairs.
Scoot, scoot,
Scoot.
All right.
Remember that Campbell soup commercial with the little black family and the little boy was like, pass it down. Pass it down. Pass it down. I wonder where he is.
I hope somewhere flourishing.
I hope he is as well. I hope he's like an engineering major at Morehouse or something. That would do my heart some good.
Where you at, boy?
You know, pass it down.
Where you at? Pass it down, boy.
I'm gonna find that commercial on YouTube.
Please, and tweet it, please.
Oh my God!
Tag me in it so I see it.
Pass it down.
What are you eating at the kitchen table today?
You know what? I made myself a healthy dinner tonight.
Oh, that makes me so happy to hear.
A very healthy. You say that like I don't be cooking. I cook.
Yes. Go back and listen to the past few episodes where you've been eating spider webs and pepper packets.
Because I'm tired.
I know, I get it, but I'm so happy to hear you cook. What you make?
Only because it was very quick. I made some it's not like gourmet. This is not like culinary fine.
What was it?
I love that little boy. Somebody tell I am Zoe I say hi. What was it?
What was it?
He is my boo. He don't even know.
He doesn't.
Oh, I love him so much. But I just made some ground turkey. I seasoned up some ground turkey and I made some sauteed spinach and some cauliflower rice. And I just mixed it all up in a glorious bowl of deliciousness. And that's what I ate. I love a rice bowl.
Then you made it all healthy with the cauliflower rice. But rice bowls are they're always the saving grace. You can literally put anything in a rice bowl.
Man, I wish I would have had, and then I got mad because when I opened up the refrigerator, I forgot that I had some turkey smoked sausage. I would have threw that in there too, but that'll be for tomorrow's rice bowl.
Make you a jambalaya rice bowl.
It was a good time. What are you snacking on, sis?
I'm not snacking. I'm never snacking. I'm eating. I made I guess nigga said it was a fancy soup from what's this shit called? Olive Garden. But I made some soup with some kale, some Italian sausage, onions, garlic, cream, white wine.
I saw that on your IG.
Yeah, it's delicious. It's delicious.
It looked decadent. Ooh. It looked very rich.
It was very rich, so I paired it. I had a really do you ever get a craving for salad? Okay, so I do. And I was like,
wait, what? I was nodding.
Okay. Oh, I thought you were nodding sarcastically,
No, I was nodding. I was nodding in agreement. I know that you eat salad.
I love salad, but
Is that your pipes clinking?
Yeah. Nigga,
come on for this New York City heat. That made me feel like home. That made me feel like home again. I just feel all warm and tingly on the inside.
All through the winter season of Gettin grown.
That's how you know it's wintertime. When you in the New York City.
It's just the pipes knocking.
When your pipes start bringing in the noise and bringing in the funk just in the middle of the night. Just
they be and then the whistle.
I know, right? You'd be like, yes, that heat is popping. I'm about to take my clothes off. It'd be a balmy 89 degrees in your house.
Nigga, when your heat, okay, for our listeners who do not live in New York City and do not understand New York City heat, and for our listeners who do live in New York City and understand New York City heat, you'll know exactly where we're coming from. But let me describe it for those who don't know. It's like Hawaii in your house. It'd be hot as hell. You walking around in wife beaters and shorts and Nike sandals because it is 93 degrees in your house and there's nothing you can do about it because you've got no control.
You don't. And it's just amazing. It is really one of my favorite times of the year because it could be literally 16 degrees outside and you will be in your house in your drawers. Like, yes.
In your drawers.
I feel like I'm at the
Netflix.
beach. Yes. Oh.
So New York City heat it's just as strong as we are.
Yes, indeed.
But,
sorry, that was a tangent. I apologize.
That's okay. I'm so glad that I was able to bring you that moment of nostalgia for a moment.
Oh man, I needed that. I did because my heat don't make no noise here in DMV.
I know.
Sometimes I wish
Your heat's like a Prius.
it is. It's like a hybrid. It's like a hybrid car. Don't make no.
My grandparents have a Prius. The first time we got in it and they pulled off, I was like, when did y'all turn it
Oh my
on?
gosh. Is this car running?
I didn't know.
Is it running? Wait a minute.
So when we parked, I'm like, well, is it off? Are you sure? Do you know? But anyway, yeah, I just had me some soup and a really nice salad. I made a Cobb salad.
Niggas love a Cobb.
I love a Cobb, man. I don't know.
Niggas love a
It's
Cobb.
got bacon and egg.
I think that's why, because the Cobb salad is it's very indulgent. Like you feel like you're doing okay because you had a salad, but it's really just like it's like, it's just missing the bread. Everything else is there.
I made bread.
Well, never mind.
So I just had a delicious ass, full ass, healthy ass, and decadent, opulent, indulgent ass meal.
Well, that sounds divine. Hope you guys are having good snacks and meals at the kitchen table as well. But we're going to jump into today's topic. We're going to talk about changing your narrative.
Yes.
And to set this up, so many of you may or may not know, Jade and I both posted it on our IG, but Getting Grown was featured with 11. I think the list was 12. It was 12 others, so we were 13.
Oh, yeah, 11 others. Sorry.
So we were listed with the 11 others, 11 other Black blogs. As I don't even remember. It was like 12 blogs that'll get your life together for 2018 or something on the exonecole.com website. So we were featured with, Two Dope Queens and, some of the other more popular blogs out there for Black women. We were so super hyped and grateful to be included.
Yes.
And it's such a esteemed company in the podcast osphere. Podcast osphere. Anyway.
Darling, hello.
So yeah, but we started talking about Necole Kane, formerly Necole Bitchie, and her transition, and that prompted a broader discussion in what it's like, or just kind of the process of changing your narrative. So, sis, you want to, for those of you who may not know Necole's story, you want to kind of give an overview?
Sure. So I personally, I wasn't, big on the internet. And back in the day, my friends put me onto a little blog called YBF.
Oh, YBF is my boo still.
Right. So YBF was my joint, and that's what I would go and I would read all the little stuff. And I was very unfamiliar with the internet at the time. So then, of course, that sparks your curiosity and trying to figure out what else is going on out there. And one of the sites that I saw was Necole Bitchie. This was probably 2007, maybe 2008. And 2007, actually, 2006, 7. And I saw Necole Bitchie. And, I'm going to be very honest, it wasn't really for me. I was like, all right, so one gossip blog is enough, but this is a bit much for me, so I'm good. Never really paid it much attention anymore. Fast forward, we all know who Necole is now, right? And when we were featured, and Kia's actually, I think Kia's the one who brought it to my attention. I was like, that's really dope. That's really awesome. That's a good look. And then I was just like, wait. And I saw the tagline for Necole, and I said, well, was this the girl who had the site Necole Bitchie? And she was like, yeah, her name is Necole Kane. And so that is what sparked Kia and I's conversation, because it was like, oh, well, I knew Necole Bitchie to be a completely different site than Necole, because Necole is super empowering of women, of Black women, and just a very positive site, whereas Necole Bitchie was a gossip site. And so I thought it was really awesome that I didn't even associate her originally, or associate her site originally, with the site that she had before. And that's no shade to what she had going on before. It's just nice to see that she turned it into such a positive direction. And so when I brought that up to Kia, and she said, well, that sparks a really good conversation as we're entering the new year.
Right.
About, especially people, because we've spoken to people in their 20s, but maybe people who are where we are, even a little bit older, who might want to change their personal narratives.
Right. So, I mean, doing more and more, I did a bit more reading on Necole. I read her story, and that she shared. And she talked a lot about, being, as a virtue, let me get myself together. In terms of her circumstances, she lost her parents, she lost her job, she was kind of like down, and that experience, in terms of struggling to find work and figure out what she was supposed to be doing with her life, kind of led her into the world of blogging. And she wasn't something that she was pursuing for the purposes of a career at the time, but it kind of just grew into this huge website that became one of the more popular urban websites of the 2008, I would say between like late 2007 and 2009 is really kind of when it boomed, and then it continued to just grow and grow from there. And she was, on paper, like on the internet, it looked like she was, living this fabulous life and going to all of these awesome events and being invited to do these speaking engagements and kind of, rubbing shoulders with celebrities. And everyone thought that, she had arrived and had reached this sort of professional peak, and, was successful. And to a certain degree, she was, in terms of she was bringing in money and had new levels of access and that kind of thing. But she felt unfulfilled and started to feel some conflict between what she was actually doing, as far as running a gossip blog and being so steeped in other people's business, and that she felt a conflict with what, her own personal values were and what she felt like her purpose in life was. And that conflict really started to have some negative implications on her life. So she saw how it was negatively impacting her health, both physically and emotionally, and, how it was like starting to wear on her in terms of her relationships and her outlook and all kinds of things. So she started to make decisions to want to change. She said she did some work in terms of going to therapists and life coaches to just try to get to the bottom of what she was feeling. And, through all of that, she came to realize that, blogging in the way that she was blogging or had been blogging, although successful and lucrative, was not really what she wanted to do. And as such, she started, trying to figure out and find her purpose. So as Jay said, we just thought that would be, especially at the end of the year, especially those of us who have faced different challenging circumstances in 2017 and find ourselves in positions where it's like, I'm unfulfilled, or I'm not satisfied, or I just feel like that there is more to what I currently have, whether that be in terms of your finances, in terms of your personal life, in terms of your romantic life, in terms of your professional career and trajectory. And you want to move, you want to change something. You just know that you're not happy. You may not know exactly what it is or what you want to do, but we wanted to talk through that and hopefully have some conversation that will give us all some steps and things to think about as we move forward and try to change aspects of the narrative, or the story of our own lives. Mm-hmm. So I guess I'll start. I do have a question I want to ask you first, and then we can kind of jump into the conversation. So are there things, and if you don't have to get too deep, like as far as like, fundamental values and truths in your lives. But are there things that you are unsatisfied with now? And things that you want to change, moving forward? Like, are there things that you can pinpoint, or is it just if you have like a sense that that you're just not happy with?
Yeah, I don't love my day job. And a lot of people would say, oh, it's glamorous and you get to go to different events as well. But I don't love my day job. Right. It's not at all what I thought I would be getting into when I originally went into the position. And it's not fulfilling, and it's not what I want to do ultimately at all. It's just something that makes sure that I have insurance and, it helps me to keep going every single day to pay my bills while I continue to work on what it is that I actually do want to do. And while I am working towards doing what I want to do. So yeah, I think right now I'm not fulfilled in what I get up and go to work and do every single day. And then on the flip side, cause we speak about cause changing your personal narrative can come from so many different circumstances that happen in your life. It could just be that you're complacent with where you are.
Right.
It could be, you're not happy in your career and you want to make a change. It could be that you want to go back to school. You're dealing with a layoff. You're dealing with some sort of life change. I know that I was laid off pretty early. I've actually been laid off 2 times in my 20s. One of them was a job where I knew it wasn't really going to go anywhere because I ended up changing my major. And so that's not what I wanted to do. So that was a blessing in disguise. And then the second one actually was more of a hard hitter. And that was the one where I thought I was doing what I was going to be doing for quite some time. And then it was like once it came to an end, I didn't know what the next step was going to be. But let's flip it back on you. What about you? Have you had, cause you have a really dope career that you've worked on, that you've worked really hard on, and you're at a place in your life career wise that a lot of people cannot say. You're really doing what you set out to do. But, so yeah, do you have something in your life in which you feel that you're unfulfilled maybe, or?
One of the things that I know that I need to make a change, and I'm still trying to figure out, how to walk out that change. But one of those things is I got stinking thinking. I think that a lot of times, I feel like I've said this before, but disappointments and challenging experiences and having to face hard things can sometimes skew your perspective and make you super critical or pessimistic or anxious or worried. And I have found that my mentality and the way that I think about certain things, it's not healthy, and it's, rooted in different kind of pathologies and things that I know that I've experienced, when I was younger and then throughout my life. So I give one example is the way in which I relate to money. I believe that being rich is a function of, being rich and being, having some sort of like economic wealth is a function of, what you have, like in terms of assets, whether that be cash or properties. Like being rich is, having certain things. But I feel like you can be rich and have a poverty mindset. Mm-hmm. And that, threatens the sustainability of any kind of wealth that you will ever have or ascertain. So, maybe ascertain was totally not the right word right there, but
I knew what you were trying to say.
Yeah. I'm tired. I'm tired.
I know.
I'm sorry.
I know.
But, yeah, I'm trying. Look, my energy is up. See? It's up. I say that to say, I know that I don't relate to money in ways, I don't move around money like a boss. And if I say I want to be a boss, and not in that cliche way that all you niggas be hashtagging on Instagram.
No.
I'm talking about
I'm not talking about payday.
As an actual, entrepreneur, as someone who is not only, that has wealth, but generates wealth and generational wealth. Like as someone who wants to, change things within my family structure, generationally. I know that I cannot do that if I continue to think like, we still struggling.
Right.
It's hard. Like, how, you lose weight, but if you lose weight, but you still think and function and carry yourself like a big girl, like you're cheating yourself from, really living within.
From your accomplishment of,
right.
Of to do what you want to do.
Exactly. So I moving forward, one of the things that I know that I need to change is I need to put money in its proper place in my life. Because right now it just stresses me out.
Yeah.
And that's not that's not the kind of mindset that you have when you have the goals that I have. So I know that going forward, I need to make changes and I need to change that narrative. So the narrative that I have in my mind is that, you know, there's always going to be a lot of bills. You're always going to have, you know, this looming kind of debt. It's always going to be burdened down. You're always going to have to think about certain things. And that's not the narrative that I want going forward in my life. And I need to break away from that narrative and make a hard switch. And I'm not entirely sure how to go about that, but that's something that I'm actively working on.
Well, I was reading an article on psychology today, and Key and I actually found some really good points from the article that could help not only both of us, but any of us who are listening to the show today, to help some steps that might help us to change our personal narrative and figure out the best direction in which we need to go and how we can get to where we want to go and how we can get to our goals.
Sure, you're right.
So I'll go ahead and start. We've listed six, seven. You know, I can't see. Blind as a rat. We've listed 6 bullet points of some ways in which you can help to change your personal narrative and figure out something that is going to help you to be fulfilled. And it's not always, we spoke earlier about big things, career changes and going back to school and all of that. But sometimes it's small things in our lives as well that can leave us feeling like we're unfulfilled. But hopefully some of these steps will help you guys and it'll help us as well. The first one is identifying the source of your unhappiness.
Right indeed.
So that's figuring out, first of all, what the hell your problem is.
I mean,
if we're going to just be clear about it. What the hell is wrong with me?
It's just a matter of pinpointing it, right? So when you read Necole Kane's story, she talks about, you know, even though she was doing things that she thought she wanted to do. I think that a lot of that comes with acknowledging that maybe what you thought you wanted or what you thought or how you thought things were going to be, or, you know, the plan that you created. It might be part of that might be acknowledging that might not be the way that it's going to go.
Right.
So having, you know, it might be a matter of, you know, managing, lofty expectations, or even kind of dealing with unexpectancy, or like the fluidity of learning how to adapt to the fluidity and how life can be so dynamic and change in an instant. So it may be a matter of just pinpointing, okay, so I thought that this was going to work out, but I still don't feel like, you know, something is not jiving. Something is not coming together in terms of, you know, I don't feel like happy. I don't feel like I thought I would feel. Right. So what exactly is the issue? And that might take some time. So.
Right. Because I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
No. Go for it.
The thing is, you don't look at when you're identifying the source of your unhappiness, you can't look at your entire life and say, I hate everything right now. You know what I'm saying? You can't act like you're on your period where we literally hate everything. You need to figure out and sit down and really put some thought into it. And like Kia said, pinpoint exactly what it is that is leading to the source of that unhappiness.
Right. And this is not something that you may want to do by yourself or in a vacuum.
Right.
It might be something that you want if it's pursuing a counselor or talking
your personal board of directors.
Oh, there you go. Come on and plug the previous episodes. But yeah, friends that you trust, mentors, your mom, your parents, you know, people who you have healthy relationships, people who know you super well, and can help you kind of look through things objectively to kind of figure out or ascertain. Now we say the word ascertain. This is where it's applicable. So to figure out exactly what it is that is causing the dissonance, or like the, you know, that I'm trying to
nagging ass feeling.
Yes. That terrible feeling in your gut is just like, I don't really like this. Like,
I hate this right now.
I actually don't like, have you ever,
that day we got them steak and eggs.
You're right. And you be trying to make yourself like it. It's like, okay, it's not that bad. And I have had so many of this kind of dissonance I have felt dating. Like, like you be dealing with, cause especially it's a tight rope. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. I can't find my words tonight, but it's a different kind of, it's a fine line to navigate, I should say, because you don't want to be the girl who's super picky. You you like what you like, or you think you know what you like, right? And you feel like, he got to wear Jordans. He got to be 6'3". He got to have perfect teeth. He got to do, he got to have a 6-pack. He got to have, a 6-figure job. He got to drive this kind of car. Like, you have all of that. And then you get all of that, right? And y'all are out at, Friday.
Wherever Molly was. Wherever Molly was when she met that guy.
Exactly. Wherever Molly was. Okay. So y'all go to some swanky hipster gentrification restaurant, right? And y'all sitting there eating
with
your
small tacos.
Yes. And you eating your small bites, and you talking to him, and he's looking at you, and you're just trying to smile and have the time of your life. But on the inside, you just like, I do not like this nigga. Like, woo, look at this. Like, you're having a conversation like, this is not it. My God. No. But you have to and then you're dealing with like, oh my God, but girl, look at these pretty teeth. And oh my God, look at, he's dressed the right way. He smells the right way, but he ain't like, something is just not there. So,
oh my God, he's communicating effectively right now.
Exactly. Oh my God. Like, or he's not. Like, there's always something, right? So like, he could look amazing, but he might be dumb as a box of rocks. So like, I mean, this kinds of it, sometimes it takes trial and error, but that kind of feeling, that kind of uneasy where you like talking yourself, you should not have to talk yourself into anything that is meant for you as far as like your purpose and what, God has for you, or, whatever you feel is what you're here to do. That kind of, I don't know. I mean, in my experience, you don't really have that. Like when you get to the point, like right now, when I go to work, I don't question whether or not I'm supposed to be at this job. Like,
it's a blessing.
I'm not out here like, when I leave here, like, I don't think like that at all. Especially since, I mean, I feel you. Cause I have definitely not always been in this place. This might be the first time ever where I have felt this way. But, I definitely feel like I lost my train of thought. Damn it. Oh.
Happens to me all the time.
I mean, just like that, it was like somebody snatched it out my brain.
Yeah. It happens all the time.
Oh my word.
Welcome.
Oh, I hate this.
I know.
It's literally the worst.
Well, while you're thinking about it. No, you're fine. So that first step is identifying the source of your unhappiness. With all that we said, that is what it is. Identifying the source of your unhappiness, pinpointing what it is that is making you feel unfulfilled in whatever it is that you are going through. Step number 2, figuring out the contrast. And whenever it comes to you, sis, feel free to just start talking.
No, I think that's tip and sale. Maybe that was the Lord saying, girl, you have said enough. I'm going to shut up now.
Figuring out the contrast. So we talked about identifying what is making you unhappy, but what's going to make you happy? What is your definition of success? What outcome are you looking for? And you need to be very clear and specific in what it is that you're looking for.
I agree. And I mean, I was talking to one of my close friends about this recently. And she was telling me, especially because, we go to school and we do what they tell us to do, right? You go to school, you get the good job, right? And I got this good job. And I mean, this is what it was all for, right? I got this good job. And you work the job for a couple of years and you making money and you paying your bills. And then one day you look up and you at your desk and you're like, I don't really want to do this. And then I don't want to do this anymore, right?
But I've put so much time.
Right. But I've invested all this time, blah, 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 blah. And I think Necole, when in Nicole's story, she actually talked about how important she doesn't consider, that time wasted. At the end of her little, I guess, blog or where she was sharing her story, she was saying, I thank all of those opportunities. I mean, I thank all of my previous experiences even, the ones that were super uncomfortable, and realizing that, none of my time was wasted. But
Right.
I say all that to say, and when I was having my conversation with my friend about this, about, trying to figure out what it is she didn't like about her current situation and how to fix it, she was like, I don't know what I want. I don't know what I want to do. I just know that I don't want to do this. And I was like, well, let's take away all the barriers right now and think in terms of ideals. So if you had, if you had, the genie from Aladdin, jumped out of your Louis Vuitton Everfull right now and said, hey girl, you got one wish, like Ray J singing in the rain, and you can literally do whatever you want.
Right.
What would that be? And she was like, I would have to think about that. I was like, yeah, don't think about money. Don't think about bills. Don't think about anything you have to, any of your responsibilities. But just think, if I had a blank check, if I could literally do whatever I wanted, what would that be? And that's where we started. And I think that that's a great way to just kind of figure out what would make you happy. And from that kind of ideal kind of pie in the sky exercise, you can start to dwindle down to that more specific definition of what success would look like for you.
And and like we said, you need to be specific and clear in what that is. And so, let's say you have that magic genie and he asks you what you want, and you say, I want to lose weight. I want to be thinner. Well, if he makes you look like Kate Moss and that's not what you were going for, you was out here trying to look like, I don't know, Ashanti, because maybe she's thinner than what you got going on right now. And this is not this is just an example. So just don't be looking too deep into it. But what I'm saying is, if you could have anything you want, you need to be very specific in what it is that you want from that.
Right.
So you take it and you break it down. You figure out what it is that it's going to make you happy, and then pinpoint those specific and clear definitions of what that's going to go into and what that looks like for you.
True. The next one, I think, is isolating the things that you can control. Right, sis?
Yep.
So
yep.
I think this is a real important one, because we, but we have so much control over anything in life, right? And I think a lot of times, I know me, I can get mired down in the skyscraper level thinking. Like, I'm thinking like world change. I'm thinking world change when how can I change the world, when I really need to be thinking, how can I get out of my house on time and get to work? Like, so, sometimes we have to be, and I'm not saying that change the world thinking is a bad thing, but you have to take practical steps to get to change the world thinking. At least in my experience, that's what I have learned. So you have to take the steps, again, to shout out one of the previous episodes that we've had. This is going to be a process of, changing your narrative, changing your situation. Necole talked about launching a site before XO Necole, just after she left Necole Bitchy. And she said she felt, she was just really excited about this change and wanted to jump right out in there, and found herself, because she hadn't really thought through the steps of, all the moving pieces. She found herself in a situation where she, wasn't able to maintain the growth of the website, by herself. And, as such, it's folded. And she said, it was an awesome, she doesn't regret that experience, but she absolutely took the lessons from that experience into her planning and being more conscious of every element that she had control over in developing XO Necole, and was able to create the site that, has, is the success that it is today.
Exactly. That third step, isolating the things you can control and you can influence, because you can't do anything with things that you have no control of. You can't do nothing.
And people that you have no control
exactly.
of.
And resources that you have no control of. So all you can do at that point is try to figure it out for yourself first. Really figure out what steps that you can take initially to get that going. And so the next one from that is creating a plan of action.
Totes.
Go ahead, sis.
I mean, it's just pretty self-explanatory. Like once
It really is.
once you know, once you feel like you know what your definition of success is and have a sense of, the context or the frame around how you can make that possible. I mean, frame around what that is, you start to think critically about how you can make that possible. You definitely, you make a plan and you do it. And I mean, you will have to adjust the plan. The plan is not written in cement. It's written, It's written in pencil, and you literally just take one step at a time. And if you have to revise as you go, then you do that.
Which you will.
Exactly. Which you absolutely will. But yeah, it's just about creating the plan and trying, just at least having some sense of roadmap before taking the next step.
Exactly. And then the next step from there is actually choosing a criteria for making that shift. So what you do is after you set that plan and you figure out what it is you want to do, you start to do your research. You start to get more in detail. This is all about detail and pinpointing certain things. And so you choose that criteria. So you want to move. The article brought out, let's say that one thing that is making you unhappy are somewhere where you're living that has very cold winters, and you want to go somewhere with a warmer climate all year round. Well, from there, you figure out what kind of warmer climate you want to go to. Where is it? You want to move to Florida? You want to move to Hawaii? You want to move to Australia? What kind of things do you care about? And so making a list and having something to refer to will help you in choosing the criteria for making the shift that it is that you want.
Show you right. And
you want to do the last one?
Yeah, man. The last one is a super simple step, and we're going to be absolutely finished with this. Is you just put one foot in front of the other, sis, and you go.
Yep.
You G-O. Green light. Green means go, as Beyonce said.
Go,
yes.
go,
you told. It's just a matter of taking the first step. I can totally speak to this right now because, typing fast and taking care is actually happening. And this is completely like a case study. It's an example of this process because I don't want to say that it was rooted in a place of unhappiness, but there was something in me that was just like, I could be doing more. What can I do to take Team Typing Fast from a hashtag to making it something that's tangible and real and something that we can point to, and something that we can, make it big and make it impactful. Because I think that it's something that we can all relate to, because regardless of what our actual professions are, we all have work to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
And regardless of what our goals are, all of that, like we all have something that we can be doing. And Team Typing Fast is not, like I said before, it's not about like the end result. Like we get it. Like you defended your dissertation, you got the job, you passed the bar, you wrote the book proposal, you started the blog, you started the podcast. That's amazing. But, let's sit and talk through the steps that you took to get to that place and all the things that you learned there. And like, what can you share about your experience that's going to help somebody coming behind you? And how can we help one another, and what does this mean for the next step? You know what I'm saying? So that's really, it's all about me wanting to take this jump, this leap to like, I don't know how, I've never done an event before. And let me say this real good so y'all can hear me. I don't have the money to be sponsoring no events. Okay. I'm in here trying to make my rent every month, and
every single month.
I am looking around every day. I ask myself, when I look at my little budget spreadsheet, I'm like, who told me? Who told me that I should do this, that I should do this now? And I'm dealing with all of that anxiety and all of that. I don't know if this is going to work, but I just put it out there. It started with a tweet like, hey, would y'all come to this? And then it started with okay, we'll do something small. I'm just going to shoot to sell 25 tickets. And then y'all bought them. And, it just kept going and going and going. And now it's literally like in a couple of days and I'm still very stressed out, but I'm trying to just keep putting one foot in front of the other. Like that's really all I'm trying to do.
That's all you can do. I mean, it's the same thing. I don't have a team to Typing Fast and take
No, but
care.
you have, your pop-ups and
The dopest dinner party. So,
Indeed.
I've been talking about doing video content for some time. I know you guys are always reaching out, telling me to do recipes and cookbooks and things like that. I'd be happy to when you niggas come and sit down with me and write out some recipes and format my shit.
It actually, you got to do some typing fast yourself, sis. You got to write down the recipes.
I have to write the recipe
and type them up, sis.
Ooh, and y'all know I hate the computer. But when it came to the dopest dinner party, I had been talking for so long about doing so many things with Jade of all Jades. And, life happens and life happens fast all the time. And I'm always trying to figure out, okay, how can I make this work with maybe current circumstances. And so when Santana hit me up, like, I'm in Atlanta, you gonna come to Atlanta to do this dinner party or what? It was like, you know what? Fuck it. And
right.
I did it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm broke just as well. Also, in addition to.
Please. Hello?
But
hashtag me too.
We made it work and it was fun. It was dope. You know what I'm saying? My homeboy Wally came and he DJ'd for me and, we were able to find a place that worked for us for the moment. And we planned this event out of state, in a state that neither one of us is super familiar with. And it happened. You know what I'm saying? And now I would love to do more. And now I'm talking about coming to LA and going to different places and doing these dopest dinner parties. So you got Kia with her event coming up on Friday. Plug. More dopest dinner parties coming to you and more content coming to you. And, we just want to wrap this up by saying, if there's any sort of shift that you want to make, don't think that it's too late in order for you to do.
It's never too late. It's never too late. It's never too late. There's nothing that you need to undo. I think one of the huge takeaways from Necole's story is that, for me, is that, she went from literally a life where her whole life was about mess and gossip and negativity. And she was literally able to turn that around. And what's most beautiful about that is that the same people who were reading the mess are now reading the dope stuff. It's not like people was like, oh, I don't mess with her no more. But the same success that she had while she was doing the messy stuff that wasn't fulfilling her, when she decided to make the turn, I'm sure there was all kinds of embarrassment because, we don't have to get into it, but y'all know that Necole was known for some of the salacious, for some salacious things. Like, there were many things associated to her. You know what I'm saying?
All kinds of stuff.
We don't even know if that stuff is true, but I'm saying people were talking and connecting her to all kinds of that stuff. I'm sure she probably felt some kind of way, like, how I'm just going to go from that to a website that's not about anything like that. And people are going to hit me all upside the head with who does she think she is and everything like that right there. So all of that to say, none of that stuff really matters. And all of the, even that kind of stuff can be used to set you up, for your purpose. Like, none of that stuff is wasted. And Jade and I are not talking about our particular ventures to, be braggy or showing off. We are very humbly sharing the things that we're dealing with in our actual lives.
Current stresses. Current struggles.
Jade can tell you that just before we started recording, I looked like somebody walked off with all my stuff. Because
she looked like somebody walked on her face.
I was just in here like, how I'm supposed to do this though? I just don't have the rein.
I was like, it was like getting Noah up for school. Impossible. Yes. I'm like, sis,
like, what's wrong?
Okay.
Nothing. I just don't want to talk. But I'm stressed, not stressed, but stressed with a K. So, we just sharing. And that's why this topic, I think, resonates. Shout out to Fran. Resonates. And shout out to Keisha too, because Keisha helped us to frame this in the very beginning. But I think that's why it resonates with us right now, because this is something that we are actually living. And I know I am purposefully trying to make the next year my best year, and not in that cliche new me kind of way, but literally, I'm literally trying to change things about myself. And I want to move forward. I want to change the narrative, the story that I tell about what my life is supposed to be, the narrative that represents me in the world. So Necole gave us a good example of how to do that. So we're trying to all follow that example, us together.
So we hope this is able to find you well in some sort of way. If you're struggling in any area of your life, hopefully some of these steps will help you to try to figure out what it is going to have you living in your purpose. And we all going to work on it together.
True. Keep us posted.
Let's move on to the...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm sorry. Yes, keep us posted on your progress because we absolutely love to read it.
Yeah, man. And go ahead, sis. I cut you off. What were you going to say? On to the next segment.
Oh, I was going to say, let's move on to the honesty box.
Honesty be easy. Okay.
Hey.
Honestly?
Truly. Honesty box time. Hello, ladies. I want to start by saying I'm so grateful for the two of you. You bring me laughter and joy every week and great real ass advice to boot. Excuse me. To the heart of the matter. I am a Cleveland native, 31-year-old single mom to a 7-year-old little girl. I've been working at my current company for a little over 2 years and my career is advancing nicely based on my work ethic and relationships, especially considering I don't have a degree. I don't want to say I hate Cleveland, but it's cold AF.
Listen, that's real.
Yeah, it is. The dating pool is whack, and because I never went away to school, I feel like I never got the opportunity to grow outside of my core family. All this being said, I want to move and start over somewhere else. Cleveland is all my daughter has ever known, and her whole world is here. We've talked about it, and while I think she understands that I want new opportunity for us, she's expressed that she doesn't want to leave her family and friends. Living with her father is not an option because irresponsible. I've been really serious about moving, but worrying about starting over with another company, and her concerns are making me question it. Do I just say F it all and go, or should I put her needs before mine and stay? Any insight you have would be appreciated. I love you both. Don't stop doing what you're doing because you're making an impact. Peace, L.
Oh, thank you, L. That was so
you,
nice
L.
of you to say.
We're not going to tell you what to do.
Yeah, I want to put that out there right now. Okay.
First and foremost.
I mean, I think the first order of business is, I don't even know.
To listen to the kitchen table talk.
Yeah, I was about to say. I think, did she say that her daughter doesn't want to go?
Yeah, she said her daughter has expressed concern about leaving her family and friends, which is understandable for a 7-year-old, and this is the only world that she's known.
Yeah, totally. Moves are scary. I mean, they're just challenging for grown people, so I can imagine what they're like for kids.
I would say first of all, there's nothing wrong with you wanting to step outside of your comfort zone and build a life somewhere where you feel like you can start over because again, this goes right along with the kitchen table talk. If you're not feeling fulfilled with where you are, you've already kind of identified what your issue is. From there, I would say if that's what you want to do and you've thought really seriously about it, I mean, you always want to consider the opinion of your kids, and you always want to take them into consideration at all times. But mama gotta have a life too. I get it.
I mean, yeah.
And she's young enough where she will adjust. So that's just being honest. However, her concerns are valid and your concerns are valid. Right.
I think you gotta find some balance. There's gotta be a compromise in there somewhere. I do feel like I know that, as a responsible adult, you would have more of a plan in place. But I do feel like more information would be beneficial to both parties. So maybe narrowing down or, some viable options in terms of where this warmer place may be and what a move would look like. So maybe having more details will help you make a better decision. Even in terms of, and thinking, and I know you, like I said, I'm not at all suggesting these things to say that you haven't, but just kind of saying, like, thinking it through all the way. So what would school be like for her? What would childcare be like for her? What kind of job would you be able to get down there? But like, I think having more information will help you kind of narrow down and define success specifically. Because all I hear right now is like, you know that you're unfulfilled, and that's the first step. But, what does happiness look like for you? I mean, you don't talk about, at least not in the email, but, just making sure that what your ideal in terms of what happiness looks like for you is, defined with the same level of specificity as you define the problem. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. But I would say, like Kia said, find some balance. So maybe you start to visit some places, start to see where you like. I don't know if you do a lot of traveling, but maybe that might scratch your itch a little bit in your consideration of not only, where you want to move, but if you want to move. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you being able to get out of Cleveland and see some other places and go on, maybe more frequent vacations. Maybe you can budget for that. It'll help you and your daughter to kind of get out of that zone for a little bit and experience something new. Another thing too, as a mother, I want you to consider very strongly, and again, this is not Kia and I telling you what to do by any means. It's just things that you want to consider. Like Kia said, you want to fully think it through. I would suggest also figuring out if you have a support system somewhere else.
Right. Like
because
some cousins that live somewhere.
Some best friends or something. You know what I'm saying? Because moving to a new place is hard. And having the support of family and friends around you that you know that you can call on can be hugely taken for granted when you are out of that situation and out of that comfort. I have been super blessed with an amazing mother-in-law, sister-in-law, brother-in-law, aunts, cousins. So Noah has a really tight village. Friends. Noah has a super tight village. So I'm super blessed with that support system. But I have friends who are not. I have friends who have children, and half the time they don't have anybody to watch their kids. And that's not something that I've ever really had to worry about. But we also consider moving other places as well. And because New York is expensive.
Sure is.
And we consider, giving Noah a better quality of life and trying to move somewhere else. But we also have to take all of those things into account that right now we have a super strong support system. And we have to take advantage of that while we can. And so I think, like Kia said, fully thinking your decision through, and maybe, like I said, visiting some of those other places, really considering it where it is you want to be, making sure that you do have the support that you have at home. Take all of that into account while you're thinking about what it is that you want to do.
Yeah, man. But yeah, we wish you all the best.
Absolutely.
And I hope that we said something that's helpful, because I really want to. I can definitely empathize with where you are, and that's a tough spot, but we gonna figure it out, girl.
Send your honesty. Make sure you're sending your honesty box questions to gettinggrownpodcast@gmail.com. Thank you all who have written in. Even if you do not hear your honesty box on the air, please know that we are reading them all. But it would be great if you continue to send.
And I want to be very responsible of the things I say to my sister, because everybody know I can be real petty. P-E to the T-T-Y, honey.
Petty, 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 petty. That's Amigos ad lib. It's time for the petty peeves. It's time to put some petty on parade. My favorite part of the show. So I'm going to read a listener's petty peeve today. Again, because it resonated with me. Frannifer. My brother and I both still live at home and absolutely hate when my brother starts cleaning something and doesn't finish. He'll sprinkle Ajax or spray bleach all over the bathroom, then leave. Now, I want to soak in a long bath after working 2 jobs and the tub is covered in Ajax, but because I want to match his petty, I just leave it and run down the street to my grandmother's and take a shower. Or what pisses my mom off the most is when he runs dishwater and leaves. Not only is he wasting water, not only is he wasting water, but dish soap as well, because when he comes back hours later, the water's too cold to wash dishes in. I will not cook dinner or bake around a dirty kitchen. That's gross, and my mother would kill me if I tried. I guess there's just a word missing, but it's okay. I only use the kitchen after he started if I have baking orders and deadlines. His excuse is always, I started dishwater and had to leave out real quick and lock myself out the house. If you start something, finish it. What the hell else are you doing all day? Not a damn thing. Just finish the damn dishes so we can all go on about our lives. The end of that petty peeve was really funny. Mm-hmm. But you're sitting on the couch, ain't you? Anyway, niggas have a really bad habit of starting shit and not finishing it. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's in.
That is like that is a think piece for your nerves.
because I
Finish
love
what
my
you start.
husband.
Finish what you
I
start.
love him. But my husband is good for washing a half a sink of dishes and maybe wiping up a couple crumbs, taking out the trash, and then saying, oh, well, I tried to do something. No, but try to do everything.
Almost doesn't count. Almost made you love me. Almost made you cry. Come on.
But everybody knows.
Same.
Almost doesn't count. Ooh, that's the jam. Yeah, almost does not count if you do not sweep the floor, clean the counters, clean behind the appliances, wash the dishes, and a bonus is dry them and put them away. Really, what's
Putting
happening?
them away is really key.
It's that is a bonus. At least put them on the dish rack. But a sink full of dishes, clean or dirty, is nothing but irritating.
Agreed.
So, thank you so much, Leah, for writing in with your petty peeve. Or maybe you didn't want me to read your name because you called your brother out. It's fine.
Woo, Merry Christmas. Okay. Our next petty peeve is also going to be a listener letter, or a write-in from a listener. She writes, hey, Jade and Kia, love the weekly doses of laughter and getting grown wisdom I get from you both. I spend entirely too much time alone, but your podcast makes me feel like I have friends around each time I listen. Aw, boo. Yay. Anyways, to my petty peeve, it's the holidays and everyone at work is in an old jolly mood. With this jolly mood comes the dreaded gift exchanges that everyone makes you feel bad about for not participating. This year, these white folks, she says she's the only Latina in the establishment, thought it would be a fantastic idea to do something called a white elephant gift exchange. I've never heard of such a thing until this year.
I did when I worked for this white elephant company.
See? Words mean things. Basically, the idea of this white elephant is you pick a number, choose a gift, or elect to take someone else's gift based on the number order. Nothing irritates me more than doing gift exchanges where people do not put thought into the gift they bring or buy something they would not care to take home themselves. Some of these cheap, non-thoughtful, and selfish white people really brought toilet paper, a singing toilet paper holder, children's makeup sets, dollar store children's games, and old lady candle holders as gifts. Please do not ever be involved in such work foolishness, and to those who bring raggedy gifts, please get gift cards instead of these terribly selected items. Thank you, ladies, and happy holidays.
Clearly, you picked up these items from the gas station. You can pick up a gift card just as easily.
I think is it the white? I don't know, because I don't feel like I've ever played this, but I've heard about it, and I think when people have described the white elephant gift exchange to me, it's always gag gifts. Isn't it like?
Oh, I didn't pay it much mind when the company that I worked for that actually did that, when they did it. So I thought it was just a gift exchange.
I could be wrong, but I do not like a present that is just whack.
Useless.
Like that is just, and then that's why this particular email struck a chord with me, because let me tell you how somebody would have got cursed out if I opened a box of toilet paper.
Well,
stop playing in my face. Toilet paper is expensive as jack.
Depends on what kind.
Right. But I'm saying if you're going to give toilet paper as a gift, it's not going to be good toilet paper.
Yeah, you probably got bodega toilet paper, and that shit'll cut your ass
in two.
That old snowstorm toilet paper when you run out. You don't have no other choices. Oh, that's the worst. But anyway, yeah, be thoughtful. I mean, and if you're doing something like gift exchanges, gift cards are always the way to go, because no matter who gets them, they're going to be just fine spending it the way that they want to. But stop getting these raggedy ass dollar store, Dollar General, Family Dollar ass gift cards. Gifts. Ugh.
For gift exchanges like that, I mean, I think the basis is like, always bring something that you would be okay with receiving.
Right. Nobody wants a pack of silly straws or, some colorful napkins. Nobody wants that. Like, make sure you're giving things that people want.
And that is all she wrote, ladies and gentlemen.
That's it. Kia and I are tired tonight. We're sorry if the energy is down. I know that ain't what y'all want to hear.
I am very sorry, but I am just trying not to yawn in the microphone.
We have been, and every time she yawns, you know how the effect goes. So
Man.
I've been trying not to yawn. Thank you guys for listening to Getting Grown. Make sure you're sending your petty peeves, honesty box questions, kitchen table talk suggestions to gettinggrownpodcast@gmail.com. Can't wait to see you all at Team Typing Fast and Taking Care this Friday
It's gonna
in
be
Washington, D.C.
Damn.
My face will be in the place.
Your face will be in the place. Our guest mixologist will be in the building. So yeah, it's going to be a good time. Thanks to everyone who bought a ticket and supported. Thanks to everyone who's been sending me awesome tweets of encouragement saying that you have liked to come and you want me to come to your city. I would love to come to your city, and hopefully I'll be able to get myself together to do that in the future as well. Y'all keep me lifted in prayer here. But yeah, until then, we going to get up off of here.
Words.
And yeah. But hopefully you guys dug this week's episode. I really, really enjoyed the conversation. I made my little notes, and I will be journaling about it for the coming week about the things that I can do to change my narrative for 2018. So yeah, hopefully y'all will find it helpful too. But yeah, we're going to go. So remember to drink your water, mind your business, and moisturize, because your black will